Good morning, friends. This evening session is dedicated to class 11 English core, and we are going to discuss two questions. Question 1 from the that book of English core, the textbook literature. The first question is from the poem Childhood, and the question is as follows. The question is, an independent thinking is a step towards adulthood. If yes, then how? Explain with reference to the poem Childhood. Well, the poem Childhood, envisages to explain the three important qualities that must be required to be inculcated in a child in order to behave like an adult. The first one is known as individuality. What is individuality? When should a child, understand that he is now growing to be an adult? Once a child starts thinking independently, then and he's not being influenced by the decisions of the adult or by any other person. If a child has an ability to decide what he wants to do or take a decision, if a child can take an independent decision in his life, once he is capable of taking an independent decision, you can say that now the child has grown to be an adult, or he is at the verge of entering the age of adulthood. So long as the child is influenced by the decisions of the adult or by the advices, by the suggestions of the adults, he's not going to think independently. So it is important that a child should develop an independent thinking, and that is what we call individuality. When when a child develops individuality, he is able to think logically, and he is able to analyze what is wrong and what is right for him. For instance, in this poem we have seen that the child is often influenced by the decisions of the adult, and the what the adult actually preach, they never practice. The period of adulthood is also characterized by the period of hypocrisy, and dual character. The adults, never practice what they preach. So the writer, the poet, wants to emphasize upon the fact that once a child starts thinking independently and is capable of taking an independent decision in his life, he is supposed to enter into an age of adulthood, and there he will not be at all affected by anybody's decision. He will have the capability to take an independent decision. The second important fact is that the child must think logically and not, go by simply the axiom or the principle. The child must have the independent thinking and must be able to analyze what is wrong and what is right. Therefore, in the poem Childhood, the poet has emphasized upon the first quality, that is individuality. The second quality is that about how how to unfold or how to reveal the hypocrisy of the adulthood. And once the child is able to understand that what the adults preach, they don't practice, and then he will be able to take his own decision. And therefore, in this case, we can see that a child has developed to be, his innocence, that was childish innocence, is no more, going to play a role. He has to, get rid of that innocence, and he has to grow to be an adult so that he will be able to face the difficulties and challenges of life. And that is what the poet has emphasized upon, that when the child has developed individuality and he is able to think independently and take his decision independently, he will no more be influenced by the suggestions and ideas given by the adults, and he will have the thinking power or ability to analyze what is wrong and what is right. And that is how he will enter into this stage of adulthood, and will be grown up and will be a capable individual. So this was the first question. The second question is from the the second question is from the play The Mother's Day. Yeah, that is by J.B. Priestley. The second question is here. Today, a woman, yeah, Mother's Day is it? Today, a woman soldiers all the household responsibility as well as having to often work outside, but she is still exploited by the family members. Based on the chapter Mother's Day and your own ideas, explain what changes are required in the society to see this right. Yeah. From time immemorial, women have been exploited by men. Due to the years old system of male dominant thoughts and ideas prevailing in the society, women have always, undergone exploitation by the men. This is not because women are weak. Women are now, if you talk about the modern era, women are more capable than men, and they can be seen working with competence in every walk of life. But the question arises that even when they are shouldering many household responsibilities, they are cooking, they are keeping the houses, they are making their children, ready for the school, and they are giving them all the required things. Even they are teaching their children in the very primary and upper primary stage, because they know that the mother is the first teacher, and then they are also attending their offices. All despite all these, hard work, still we can see the women often being shouted by men, being exploited by men. This is only because of the male dominant attitude. We have always looked into the woman as someone who is responsible to take care of us, but we have never seen the second aspect, the second face of the coin. Actually, a family cannot exist happily without the mutual understanding, without the mutual bond, without the respect, mutual respect. Not only mutual understanding, but mutual respect. It is the wife and the husband that both together make the family. We cannot really think of having a very good and a very happy family without having a good understanding between the spouse, and therefore we have to have these qualities in both wife and husband, mother and father. Both have to think together. It is not thinking separately. If the mother is having the capability, and if she is looking after the family and looking after the responsibility of the household work, then it is also the duty of the male parent to look into the needs and requirement of the housewife, and to see that what are the things that can be done. For example, working together, giving her a day off respite, giving her a respite of a day off from her household chorus, allow her to enjoy one day free, off. She could be allowed, she could be taken to some park as as a trip, as an amusement. She should be taken to a hotel for fooding outside. There's nothing wrong in making the woman enjoy the short trip, like taking her to a small town or nearby town, or making her travel some other places, and watching her some of the programs. If she's busy watching some of the programs of her likes, then allow her to watch the program. And it is important that you should prepare a light breakfast for her, serve her a breakfast if possible. And that will be possible only when the the people will, the male, particularly the male members, will understand the need and requirement, that like any other human being, like any other individual, even a mother is also in need of certain relaxation. She's in need of interaction with other people. She's in need of expressing herself and watching the programs of her likes. She's in need of relaxation. She's not meant to work day and night like a bonded labor. She should be given respect. She should be given due consideration by the other members, and that is the reason why we see in the play The Mother's Day by J.B. Priestley, Mrs. Pearson, who is now being treated more like a servant by her, son, and by her daughter and son both. The son Cyril and the daughter Doris, both of them often keep on giving order. Mommy, do this. Have you prepared the tea? Have you ironed my shirt? This is not the way a child and the children of the family should treat a mother. They should understand that after all, she has every right to be free and enjoy. And why can't the children do their work? Ironing this shirt, ironing this, that is the task that children should learn to do by themselves. This will develop them independent, living. So that is a good thing. So the male members should not encourage, particularly the husband in the family should not encourage the children to often get the work done by the mother. Instead, they should cooperate the mother in running the house properly, and she should be given complete freedom to enjoy one day weekly off, and maybe 2 days, or she should be taken for a change for somewhere in a hotel for fooding and enjoying some programs in a club, and she should have the freedom to have her a small party, kitty party in the home, and or any other interaction with the women, talking and enjoying and listening to songs, watching programs. All this can be done only when the male members should cooperate, particularly the children of the family should understand their mother, and the husband should also acknowledge the importance of the mother. That is the reason why when Mrs. Fitzgerald changes the personality with Mrs. Pearson, and Mrs. Pearson starts smoking and drinking in front of her children, they are embarrassed. They are little embarrassed, and they are not able to believe their eyes that their mother could do so. And after that, they really realize their mistake and undergo a change, and they decide that no, they will no more treat her like a servant. They will have due respect for the mother, and then only the changes come into the play. So we find that changing attitude among the family members will help and retain dignity of the mother. It is important that a mother should retain her respect and dignity in the family. Then only we can say that the family is really a happy family. Otherwise, simply exploiting the woman, saying that it is her responsibility and leaving behind her alone, just like and making her serve the whole day, this is not the right way. So a right attitude, a correct perception of thinking, mutual understanding, and perhaps the most important thing, that giving her love and respect and acknowledging her work in the family is more important for making a mother live happily. And really, this is possible. Some changes have come into the modern world, when the women can be seen enjoying their holiday with their female counterparts, and they are also enjoying holiday even in the office. They are, when they have weekly off, they go along with their office mates and they enjoy. That is not wrong at all. So we should allow the mother to have her freedom of expression, to have her freedom of thought, and to enjoy herself as a free independent individual in the family. And that is the need of the hour. Thank you very much. I'm sure this elaboration will help my dear friends to understand that, like any other individual, mother has to be treated with respect and dignity, because she deserves to be respected. And that is what is being said in the play The Mother's Day by J.B. Priestley. Thank you. This is Mr. Eddie Singh on the channel Easy English.